G'day everyone, it's Justin and
Scott.
Two dads again from Broome, Australia. And today we're coming to you from the new 2019 Toyota RAV4. Now mate, RAV4, that's a car that's been around for a long time, hasn't it? I mean, you and I had a chat about this yesterday about, you know, the first generation one, wasn't it? The little three-door thing with the tailgate that opens up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Like
it was like the first of the little lifestyle SUVs, and everything came. You know, they used to spec them up a little bit. They all came in different flavours.
Mid-90s or something.
Yeah,
something like that. Well, this one today, this is actually the fifth generation RAV4. It came out a couple of months ago. Mate, big difference, isn't it?
Oh, I got such a shock. I have to say, I had pictured in my mind the size of the RAV4s of the early days and everything, and when this turned up, it is really grown up a lot now.
Yeah, it's a full-on family SUV now, isn't it?
Complete,
yes. That's why I thought it'd be good to actually borrow one of these and have a drive and see, you know, how fun and family-friendly this thing might be.
Absolutely.
And I guess I've had a drive of it during the week, you've had a drive of it too, and I'm pretty impressed by it. So,
yeah, absolutely, agree.
But I guess the thing that we should have a chat about is the different variants that you can get in this new RAV4. Got a bit of time?
Yeah, I lost about half an hour of my life just researching it and reading about it. There's a lot. Yeah.
Well, mate, apparently there's 11 separate different variants of RAV4 you can get now.
Yep.
I'll try and explain as best I can, I suppose. There's the base entry-level car is called the GX. And that comes, you can get it in a 2-litre petrol engine, front-wheel drive. You can get that in manual or CVT. It's also available in hybrid as well, which
as to
we'll
petrol,
talk about
straight
that.
petrol.
Yep. And that's available in 2-wheel drive CVT and all-wheel drive CVT. You go up then to the GXL model, which is like a mid-range model. And that's available, I think, in 2-litre petrol as well, and the hybrid. Then you go up to what's called a cruiser model. The cruiser model.
Lane assist, just reminding me I should stay in my lane.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of safety in this thing too, which we'll go over a bit later. The cruiser model is sort of like a luxury model variant, I suppose, and yeah, again, that's available hybrid, all-wheel drive, etc. And there's a one called the Edge, which I think is only available in 2.5 petrol, and that has a 8-speed auto or something, all-wheel drive. That's sort of like, I guess, maybe the sporty version, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I think it comes with panoramic sunroof and some other stuff,
or
something like that. It's a bit of a different variation.
Bit of a different variation. A bit different to the other models, but yeah.
And that's when you want to have to open your wallet for the full extent, I think. Yep.
Yeah. But the one we're actually in today, this is the mid-range GXL 2-wheel drive hybrid model, which I think Toyota was saying like they're expecting the take-up of hybrid to actually be quite high in the new RAV4. Again, a lot of safety features in the car, which was starting to annoy you too, I guess. So anyway, we won't go.
We live too near too many schools.
Yeah, that's all right. So just in terms of this car has a 2.5 petrol engine in the front, coupled with an electric motor and battery in the rear here.
Left the school zone.
Yes. Thanks, RAV4. The battery is actually situated under the rear seat. So in terms of like an SUV, there's nothing sort of underneath it. The ride height is actually reasonable for an SUV, which is good. And it's not a plug-in hybrid or anything like that. It actually just works, I guess, you know, the engine, the friction when you actually, you know, get off the accelerator and downshift sort of repowers the battery. So it's all encased in terms of, you know, like a fully encased system. I'm not technical about this, so all I know is that the fuel consumption is really, really good.
Well, I think the important thing from someone owning this vehicle is you don't even really think about it too much, right? Like it's just kicking in and out constantly when you're driving, making sure that you're getting the best fuel economy possible.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go home and plug it into anything, or the maintenance of this thing is no difference. I think where you see it the most is when I look down and I look at the amount of kilometres I can still drive in this thing right now. It's over 800.
Yeah.
So I have to go to the petrol pump.
That's incredible. It's funny. I think the previous model RAV4 had the availability of a diesel, but this model, no, they've canned diesel now, so diesel's out. Interesting thing, I suppose, it's CVT transmission, but I think it's well matched to this type of drivetrain. Like it's very quiet, it's very smooth. I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I don't mind the CVT in this, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
Pricing wise though, there has been a bit of a price upgrade from the previous model, I believe, but look, I won't go through every model. You can look through the Toyota website and see how much these things cost, but the manual base GX model, I think petrol, starts off at about 30,640 list price. You can go all the way up to like an Edge top of the range thing, which is about 47,140 list price, but the one we're in today, the two-wheel drive hybrid CVT, priced at 38,140. Okay. I guess when you look at competitor cars, maybe like Mazda CX-5 and things like that, I think they're priced in between a few of those models there. So
it's a very crowded market, right?
Yeah,
it
is.
This size of SUV, family orientated. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really your sport for choice in terms of looking at different 5-seat SUVs that you want to get. So
yes.
Yeah. But anyway, look, let's talk about. You've had a drive of it. I've driven it. Give us your impressions. What do you think?
Well, you just mentioned earlier how quiet it is, right? I got into it, and it's partly being the hybrid and partly being the petrol thing. It's a very quiet car to
city driving.
It
smooth,
just whispers along the road, so it's quite amazing in any mode. Yep. A very high driving position straight away, I noticed. I was like, wow, really am very high. So you're as high as any of the SUVs I think we drive.
Yeah, so if you like that kind of feeling, it's a good car.
This one will definitely suit. Yep. Smoothness just on the road, like the suspension is reasonably soft, I would say, and it actually makes it very compliant just around our terrible Sydney roads. So that's quite nice. I think at a little bit higher speed, I just noticed that it gets a little bit unstable. That's the downside. But day-to-day driving, it feels really, really comfortable. So, I just found it bubbled around a little bit when I was at a higher speed. And
I didn't mind it. Again, I wouldn't call it sporty. It's by no means sporty. So right. I guess sporty cars have a bit more compliance in terms of composure when they're going quickly. Yep. This thing to me is a family SUV, and it seems to do that job really, really well.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think the outside styling and everything, it's quite interesting. It is ultimately an SUV, so it's hard to do a lot, but I think it looks quite nice on the outside. A little bit of edges and angles, and I think they've done a good job, as if they have in the inside of cabin. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In terms of drivetrain power delivery, I think the hybrid sort of combination here, I think they're saying that this thing puts out about 160 kilowatts combined, I guess, with the electric motor and the petrol engine, which isn't bad for like a family SUV.
I mean, more than enough driving it around the city.
Yeah, like compared to some of the other cars with naturally aspirated or smaller turbo engines and things like that, it's up there with that, I think. I think the Toyota was saying the fuel consumption on the hybrid, like the factory figure, 4.7 litres per 100 k's combined.
Yep.
Wow. That's and to be honest, I mean, look, I've only really been driving it like in around town and stuff like that, and I was seeing like 5.8 around.
So was I when I was driving it as well, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to be conservative. I was just driving normally, so I thought that was pretty good figures.
Yeah, and that's impressive for a car like this. So.
Yep.
Safety. That's one thing I'd probably want to make mention of it. This car's just loaded with safety.
Double tick, it's incredible.
And it's from the base model upwards, which is great. I mean, well done, Toyota. That's really, really good.
Very incorporated into the daily driving experience too. So like even the dash and everything, it picks up a lot of things. You can turn stuff on and off quite easily. So it's I'm quite impressed by all the safety stuff. It's called
Toyota Safety Sense, I suppose. It's part of their package. It's got autonomous braking, lane departure warning as well, road sign assist.
Yes.
You've got auto high beam, blind spot monitoring. I think you notice with the lane departure warning, it actually goes on your steering wheel as well. Like if you go over the lane, it
does. Yes.
Drag
absolutely.
You back in.
Yep.
Rear cross traffic alert. You've got the reversing camera. I think on the GXL model you've got the lines as well. Front and rear parking sensors, 7 airbags, mate. It's loaded.
It's fully loaded.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
The other thing that it does too, which I think you were
entered a school zone.
It does that, which you were saying you'd like to turn it off occasionally.
I have to work out how to do that, I think, because after a while it's a little bit too much.
With the fines that you can cop from going through a school zone, I don't mind leaving that on. that's fine.
My counter argument would be school zones are in operation for about 3 hours a day,
Yeah,
not 24 hours a day, right? So,
yeah, and we're on a weekend at the moment,
yeah.
But you know what? That's pretty good, I think. So, yeah.
You have left the school zone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now, the GXL, like we had this discussion about which model is probably the best value for money model, and I was tending towards this one, the GXL, because you get a fair amount of goodies in it, and which I like personally. Like, you know, you get the roof rails, 18-inch wheels.
You like a little bit of your luxury, mate. Some of those things.
Do,
yes,
yeah. You know, like little things like keyless entry, keyless start, so you don't have to take the key out to open things up. You get the dual climate air in it, QI charger, 5 USB chargers. That's great. That's very family friendly.
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah. You get rear vents. I think all of them get rear vents anyway. But you know, for the kids in the back, that's spot on.
Yep.
The 8-inch touchscreen here, which Toyota, it's like their version of Toyota, touchscreen. DAB standard now. Sat nav, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Not quite at the moment. Late 2019, apparently, that's going to be coming for the car.
Yep.
But the good news is, I guess, if you buy this car now, say, it's what, July now, they retrofit it when it comes in, so you're not going to miss out. So that's fine.
Good. Yep. Very good.
So I think, but you were saying...
Yes, I disagree with you. So I've got a very clear view of what I think is the best car in this bucket. Family friendly, right?
Yeah.
I would be looking seriously at the base model. It's going to get a hard time as a car. I think the base model, in terms of all the safety it's got already in play, it's got the most important things there already.
Yep.
Entry price is pretty good, but I would add the hybrid option on.
So
I would keep it 2-wheel drive. I'd go the base model because
Yep.
I think it's great value for money.
Yep.
But I would add the hybrid piece because I think that's going to pay itself back over time.
Oh, I think so
many,
too.
many times over.
Yeah.
That was where I thought the sweet spot was. So pretty similar to you, but I think you just wanted those extra little bits and pieces, which if people can afford it, go for it, right?
Yeah.
But
I thought, like under 40k for something like this with all the stuff in it, I think that's pretty good value for money.
I think that both are good value. Just thought the entry level was a steal in some ways. Yep.
X Factor question. Is this something that you would look back at if you park the car or you're driving past or something? What are your thoughts on that?
It's in this beautiful electric blue or whatever it's called today. It's a very nice colour. I think it's got enough styling and angles and stuff that I think you'd be proud to turn up as a family in your family SUV in this thing. It is still an SUV, so I'm probably not going to look back at it that much in the car park. But on the whole, I think the styling's pretty good. What about you?
I think like they've done a job on this car that makes it look more masculine, more aggressive, I suppose, in terms of the styling.
Okay.
Look,
is that the wheel arches and some of those things?
Even just the front and everything, like the angles and stuff like that. I mean, you see. You said it yourself. It is hard to make like a 5-seat SUV these days stand out, but I think they have done a pretty good job in trying to make this one stand out. I quite like the masculine styling about it.
Yes.
My only worry might be, I don't know, like, do women think that's good styling as well? I don't know. That's the thing.
I couldn't comment, mate.
Yeah,
no, it's well out of my
that was just
area of specialty.
Just a thought.
And yours, I would say, as well.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
But yes, again, styling's one of those unique things, right?
Yeah.
And we said this is a crowded market for SUVs, so there's plenty of choice for consumers out there. It's what you like, I suppose.
That's right.
I'm probably looking a little bit past what the SUV looks like, because this is a practical car that's made to do many, many other things that I think is higher on the priority list than the looks. But that could be different for different people.
But a lot of people, like, the kind of car you drive represents your personality in that too, doesn't it? So, I don't know. Anyway. In terms of warranty, I think Toyota's got their 5-year warranty on the cars now, which is really great.
That is good.
Cap price servicing. I had a quick look on the Toyota website about what this car would cost to service, and I think it's a couple $100 for your first service.
Yep.
So I think we were saying, like, they have got a pretty good warranty on the hybrid battery and that too. I think it's at least 10 years, I think, something like that.
That's good.
Check out the Toyota website for that.
I think Toyota's pretty fair on their servicing prices, have been for many years. They get it right pretty well.
Yeah, that's right. So that's good. But I guess in summary, I really like the ride quality of this car. I think the size is pretty good. The family friendliness. You sat in the back as well.
3 kids in the back, easy.
No problem.
You could get 3 adults for a short amount of time.
Yep.
Adjust, but that's pretty good as well. So it's a nice, spacious car with all the functionality in the back that the kids need and everything. So
even the boot is bloody big, which is good. But another great thing about it, low loading lip. So if you've got a pram or something like that, and you have to lift it into the car every day or something, that's really good.
It's quite easy as it's going to get.
Yep. That's really, really good. So it's it's got a lot of ticks that way.
Yep.
So
absolutely. Yep.
And especially like I said with the USBs and the vents.
Yep.
Great for kids.
Yep.
So that's
absolutely.
Good. So we've got that. Negatives? I've got a couple little ones.
Oh, have you? Yeah. No, on the whole, I haven't got too many negatives, to be honest. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think it does what it's supposed to do really, really well. What did you find?
Well, look, in terms of how it sort of finished, I mean, I like how it's got buttons. And that's really good, and there's soft touch stuff on the buttons and things.
Yep.
The dashboard in front of me is soft touch as well. You've got this nice little tray here as well.
I'm not hearing any negatives yet, Justin.
However, if I turn my head to my left, that's really hard.
Yep.
That's not that crash on, I reckon. So, I don't know.
My counter argument to that is every car is built to a price point, right? So there is always going to be a few challenges on things, and I mean you can upgrade this right to the next models if that is a big issue for you. Yeah. On the whole, it's pretty durable, hard wearing for a family, right? This car's going to get a hard time if you've got a big family.
All I'm saying is that you've done such a great job here. Why didn't you just continue it on into the doors? I mean, all right, okay, I'll just keep looking straight ahead.
Right,
fine, I won't look to the left.
I'll accept that. Okay. Yep. Fair call.
Yeah. Anyway, just want to put a big thank you to our friends at Toyota Australia for the loan of the RAV4, the hybrid. If it's something like, I guess 5-seat SUVs are, dime a dozen now, aren't they? So, but probably well worth a look, this one, especially in the hybrid version.
Yes.
I think that's going to save you.
That's what's different to the others, right?
Yeah.
That's why you should put this one on the list.
Definitely, because you're going to save a lot of money in the long run on fuel on this thing. So that's really good.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.